Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Rusty and Mojo Show episode. I don't fucking remember. Joining me is, or I am Rusty Buckets. Fuck, I don't know if you knew that. Joining me is Rudy St. Clair, aka Rudy St. Clair, and then of course the gorgeous, the sexy HD Mojo God. 99. Look at this man in high definition.
You could have left those two first words out, but yes, HD Mojo 99. I'm here. I'm here now.
Okay, a little too close. Oh my God. All right. So yeah, Mojo, Rudy's changing his background for no fucking reason. Mojo,
I'm cycling through the old ones.
Finally updated his camera. You know, I think I might put you at the center of the thumbnail now just because you look better.
Oh man, yeah. I feel reborn with this camera, dude. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay, you can't change it every second, Rudy. I'll be honest, I got no fucking idea what to talk about on this podcast because it feels like we recorded the other one like yesterday. So
I know.
Yeah, it was definitely a full 8 days ago, but you know, whatever.
It was?
I'm pretty sure
there's no way that was 8 days ago.
Time is literally flying.
No. That podcast went up. That podcast went up like 2 days after it was recorded, and it wasn't uploaded that recently. There's no fucking way that was 8 days ago.
I thought we recorded it on time, and yeah, but I could be wrong.
God. Yeah, that was like 5 days ago. We pretty good on that.
Okay.
That podcast is also not doing very well, so that's lit.
I mean, it was our first upload in like 3 weeks, so I get it. You know,
was it? I don't know. I barely pay attention to it.
Yeah,
whatever, man.
How's everybody been doing?
Well,
I know Rudy hasn't been doing great lately.
Hey man, I just had a rough day health-wise. I just got some more fucking kidney stones, but it was a really rough hour when it was passing, but I actually, passed it, exiting my body pretty fucking easily. So it really wasn't so bad. Kind of a waste of time to go to the hospital other than just like giving me that personal wake-up call to be like, all right, I need to take my health seriously, not just like take it for granted.
Could have been editing videos for me, but
I'm right.
Idiot.
This man's over here worried about me.
I'm worried about my bottom line. That was the first time I have edited a non-deep dive video in months. Like I was literally like, how the fuck? What song do I put here? I can't even remember how the fuck to edit this. It's been so fucking long.
I remember, Rudy, you said like you dealt with like this kidney issue before, sometime in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you mentioned it to us. I thought it was. Is it like I have no idea like about.
He's old. It happens.
Shut up.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean it just comes from not hydrating well enough and just like too much salt in your diet, shit like that.
No.
But mostly just not hydrating well enough.
As he drinks some water.
Now he's on it. Usually when he's drinking, it's like alcohol.
That concerns me because if there was one thing that I over consume in my diet, it's sodium. So that's good.
Yeah, you're gonna be pissing rocks, buddy.
Oh no!
My God.
Oh no!
Can you imagine?
Dude, the worst part isn't even it passing through your dick and like actually letting it exit your body.
How is that not the worst part?
Not even close, honestly. The worst part is when it travels from your kidney to your bladder because that tube is way smaller.
So you just feel like a pointy rock going through a tube in your body?
I mean, yeah, like when I was in triage, they're like, all right, how much pain are you in? Scale of 1 to 10. I was like 9.5. You could shoot me with a gun. So, I mean, I do question like what getting shot feels like by comparison because the stone passing from your kidney to your bladder, for me, that's like an hour-long process. And it's just...
Oh, my fucking God.
All right. Well, as you say that, I'm going to crack a soda open.
Yeah, man. If I have one soda, my I get tremors.
That's good.
Just PTSD. But yeah, this is like the fucking fourth time this has happened in the past like 3 or 4 years. Fortunately, it was a very small one. I didn't have to get surgery or anything like that.
Okay.
So, all is well. I got a membership at the YMCA immediately after I left the hospital.
Bro, I'm pissed at you.
I didn't go home. I went to the Y and was like, I am here to sign up.
How there is not a single open gym within like an hour radius of where I live. So that just pissed me off when I saw that clip of you shooting. I was like, where did you find this, you motherfucker?
Yeah, it's just a YMCA. I'm gonna look up the population of my area. Please.
You know what I actually thought? I legitimately thought, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to drive down to Alabama just so I have an open court. I can hang out with Rudy for like 3 days and just shoot around at an open gym.
Yeah. Well, and like in my actual city, but like include plus the neighboring city, which is kind of bundled into the same area, there's only like 55,000 people that live here. So
damn.
Yeah, it's a pretty small place. It's not the smallest. It's not exactly rural, but it's where all the rural people come to get their groceries.
Yeah, and Alabama is not the most basketball area in the country.
Yeah, for real. And it was also like 8 p.m. on a Friday. Like I think people got better shit to do than to
8 p.m. on a Friday is usually when it's popping the most.
Hey man,
in my experience, like later at the end of the week, like off when work is over, that's when everybody shows up. There's a local gym to me that I used to go at like 11 p.m. every day. Back when I lost 30 pounds in like 2 months is because I went to the gym 2 hours in the morning and then came back later in the day for another hour. I was going overdrive.
Yeah, he was on his shit. I remember that, Rusty.
Not anymore. Fat fuck. Anyways.
Shit, I'm on overdrive now, for real. Like, I mean, it's just that shit just... I can't emphasize it enough. Wake up call is the best word I could use to describe it. Just because, like, I mean, I don't want to be having failing kidneys.
I talked about it briefly when I was in when I was on that trip to the Appalachian Mountains, whichever one it is. That caused a war in one of my comment sections because I said it wrong.
That's like caramel type shit.
And then they got in a debate about whether I was wrong or not. It's like, who the get a life. Anyways, well, I told you I went on a hike that was like 5 miles in total from there and back. And I said to Bobby, this is a wake up call. I need to get in shape. And he says, you say this every time we do anything physical. I'm like, shut up. Literally every time I'm like, this is a wake up call. And he goes, yeah, you're going to go right back to sleep, motherfucker.
That's a good way to play on his analogy there. Yeah, man. Did y'all see my jump shot post?
I've already seen it before.
Yeah, I know y'all have seen it before. I thought it was funny how everyone in the comments just said the same shit you did, Jacob.
Larry Bird.
Yeah. I was looking up Larry Bird shot mechanics today, and I was like, wow, from like the upper body, it's Larry all day. It's exactly the same. Yeah. Lower body's a little bit different. I don't bend my knees towards each other like Larry does.
Yeah, Larry has an odd looking form.
For sure.
So what now? You're gonna be hooping every day now, Rudy, or what?
Yeah, I mean, just like as much as I can bear. I'm trying to implement it into my routine where first thing I do when I wake up is just prepare to go to the gym, go hoop, swim, maybe go work out, lift some weights or whatever. I'm thinking maybe on days that I am like just too worn the fuck out from hooping the previous day, I'll just like go lift weights because that's just like something that's basically fucking foreign to me. So if I could build up any level of strength, it would be beneficial to me. I got a bad case of turbo leg, man. I could tell that like I'm just like putting all my weight when I like explode and try to like drive or whatever. It's all on one leg. Like I'm practically limping out there. I need to really even out that strength.
Because as we know, you're an explosive athlete.
Right. Famously, you can see the vertical on my jump shot.
What if we do Atlanta trip 2.0? We come back and Rudy is like Allen Iverson.
Yeah, I know.
A dribble guy.
Rusty's shaking right now.
Speaking of that, we need to plan that eventually.
For
May 13th, I get my second dose of Moderna.
Heck yeah. And I know, Mojo, you said you're gonna get yours after Ramadan. So I mean, we could plan it for like the summer sometime. That would be super dope.
I was thinking, and I don't know if we could time this, if this would work out time wise, but would it be possible for us to do like we're there for round 1 of the playoffs for the Hawks?
Ooh, maybe.
I like it, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That'd be so. You just want to see me? No, I don't want you here. I don't want you here. I don't want you here. I don't want you in my city, in my face, like rubbing into me.
I wouldn't talk shit. I wouldn't talk shit. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
You would.
If it's the playoffs, I wouldn't. If it was a regular game, I would absolutely talk shit. If it's the playoffs, that's a different animal. But like, it would be expensive. But like, what an experience that would be. Like, I've always wanted to go to a playoff game. That'd be so fucking cool. I would actually prefer to be to a playoff game for a team I don't care about than the Bulls. Because if it was the Bulls, I'd be shitting my pants.
That's why I'm like, bro, I don't know if I can handle that type of pressure. I don't know. I don't know how I would handle myself.
But I mean, it would be fun though. Like, especially I think it's looking like it might be Celtics Hawks. Like, that's a good ass matchup. Like, when you go to a game.
I'm praying that it's Hawks Knicks.
I mean, we could maybe. This is a crazy idea. But we could maybe even like try and do a little meetup as well. Like, hey, we're at the Hawks game. What's up?
Oh, meet and greet.
Yeah.
Ooh. People would like that. I think.
Do it outside the arena though. You don't want to get security on your ass.
Yeah. Okay, I see.
Just have an event at the fucking arena. They're like, hey, wait a minute, did you guys register?
I mean, I don't know that we'd attract enough people to actually get any attention at all, but like on the off chance there's just 100 people there, no, which there would not be, but yeah.
Hey man, maybe. I know when we were talking about it before that there was people who wanted us to do like a meet and greet thing. But naturally, we did not do that. Honestly, that kind of thing is a little bit spooky to me if you're like not in a very controlled environment because you just never fucking know how people are. Man.
Exactly. I agree with that.
All right, I'll bring a gun.
It's okay. You bring your gun and I'll bring my knife. Where the fuck is my knife?
Not your Walmart knife.
I thought you were just about to pull out a fucking Glock. Like,
you bring your gun,
dude. I lost one of my knives just now. What the fuck? Oh, never mind. It's right here.
I'll bring the good one.
I'll bring the machete.
Protection we need.
I ain't gonna lie. I get pulled over driving to Atlanta with a pistol and a machete. And because I'm white, they're gonna be like, "Have a good day, sir."
Yeah, the unfortunate truth.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna lie. The idea of a meet and greet kind of freaks me out. Sometimes I'd be definitely down for it, but it kind of freaks me out once in a while just because you never know.
Simple. I do think about this quite often, though, that like I have added like almost 100,000 people to my audience when I never go outside now. And when I do go outside, I have a big mask covering my face. So like the potential to be recognized is far more significant now than it was then. I just haven't experienced it because nobody sees my fucking face. Yeah. It's not like I have the most standout face in the world when it's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, hey, have you ever been recognized before? Has that
3
happened?
times.
Oh, okay.
And 2 of them were not because they recognized my face. One time I got recognized before I even showed my face. So that was fun because someone saw a thumbnail. Someone sitting next to me in college saw a thumbnail on my laptop and was like, wait a minute, right. I know this guy. Other time I was wearing the jean jacket that I was famous for at the time. And they're like, wait a minute, I recognize that guy.
Yeah.
And then one time, a guy that I was in class with for about 4 weeks realized who I was from me talking in class for like the first time ever. So apparently it takes people like, wait a minute, what is that? Is that like no one immediately knows that it's me? They got to question it for a while.
I feel that. A while ago at LA Fitness, I recognized this dude that I used to watch when I was younger. He has like nearly 1 million subscribers on YouTube. He's like 800K or some shit like that. And I recognized him, but like I had to make sure that it was him before I actually like walked up to him and say something. So I had to draw so much memories back about just how he looked, like how he acted. And he acted just like how he does in his videos in real life when we were playing basketball. Dude was stupid clutch, he wasn't like talking shit, but when people would talk shit to him, then he would turn up another notch, hitting like so many like game winners. It was crazy. But I met someone in person, and I kind of see how people are when like they kind of waited out to see if it really is you, because you just have to make sure. It'll be so embarrassing.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Like
being if that's
Rusty
you.
Buckets, who the fuck is that loser?
Yeah, it's so embarrassing.
It'd be so funny as shit though, because the third guy who recognized me, he held up the phone of my channel, and I was wearing this shirt.
Oh
and
shit!
He said that, and I was wearing this shirt in the video. And I was like, what if I just said no? What if I just said no? It blatantly looks like me wearing the same shirt. Nah, that's not me, bro. I don't know who that is.
That'd be high quality shit.
Speaking of my face, I really, really badly want to shave my beard.
Really?
Why? Don't do it. Don't do it.
I know that both you guys hate that idea. I think Rudy recently tweeted like he can change his haircut, but the beard must stay.
I did.
Yeah, I agree.
Someone said they need to bring back the cut from it was like a tweet that Mojo actually quote tweeted. It was like, check the glow up or something like that. And it's like when you were like saying that Zach LaVine was the biggest question mark among like him, Chris Dunn.
He just tore his ACL.
Right. But it was not the most flattering image of you.
Oh, that's just what I used to look like. It's not like that was like a bad angle. That's just what I looked like.
I mean, it was kind of up your nose. It was a little bit of both.
Well, I had a horrible haircut, was 30 pounds heavier. It used to be 40, but I gained weight. And I used to have severe acne, and I don't have that anymore thanks to Accutane. So it was not. I should not have.
Not an ad.
No, it's not an ad. Taking Accutane was actually kind of a nightmare, so it's not an ad.
Did you say it burned your lips or some shit like that?
It made my lips bleed constantly. And actually, if you watch old videos of mine, my lips are extremely bright red. And people would ask me if I was wearing makeup. It's like, no, my lips are just constantly bleeding. I have very minor acne now when I used to have severe acne, which is nice, but I don't. My dad was like, because I stopped doing it at the start of the pandemic when I was like 70% complete. And my dad recently was like, so you're going to finish the Accutane to completely get rid of your acne? I'm like, I'm fine with like a little bit. I don't want my lips to bleed for another like month and a half. I was pretty happy when that was done. So I'm not going back.
Just wash your face instead.
I don't
wash your face, change your pillowcases and all that good stuff. Change your pillows.
Dude, I think I was like fucking like a year out of the house before I realized like how bad you need to wash your pillowcases to keep your face clean. Like I was just like enduring that shit.
I'll be honest, I don't be doing that. So
yeah, bro. And yeah, I mean, just like last year or 2 years ago, I just started washing my pillowcases on a consistent basis.
All right, I guess I've learned something new today. I don't really wash my sheets that consistently.
Yeah, I have a bad habit of just like keeping a ton of sheets on my bed, just because I feel like it's cleaner and I want to like protect my mattress, but I also don't want to get like a mattress protector because I feel like they're noisy.
Yeah.
But you know, it's whatever. I should probably just buy a mattress protector.
I am so desperately looking forward to finally moving the fuck out. Like,
why? What's been driving you nuts?
Just like things like the fucking mattress and all that shit. And like when I move out, I'm gonna be grown up as shit. But like in my head, there's a mental block, and it's like I still gotta act like a fucking kid while I'm living with my parents. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Really?
Not like I'm like fucking wham. Like,
yeah. What you mean by like, I need examples.
But like in my head, like certain improvements that I can make, I'm like, I'll do that shit once I move out.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I still do something that to a lot of people is a cardinal sin. I eat in my bed very frequently.
Ew.
Yeah. I try not to do that. The worst I'll do,
but here's
outside of like having like a meal with like my girlfriend on the bed or something like that, where it's like a whole ass thing, is I'll just get like some crackers and eat them in bed right before I go to sleep.
But crackers are like all Crumb City, so.
Yeah,
but like the thing is though, the reason I eat in bed is because I don't like being out in my like the kitchen or like living room or whatever, because I just like being alone. So
why don't you just eat on your desk?
I'd rather just bring the food over. Well, my bed's more comfortable.
Oh my gosh. Your bed's more comfortable than your chair. Okay, well that does make sense. I just don't want to risk. Like I grew up with so many crumbs and also the shit from my bed. I made it a rule for myself to never eat on my bed since I was like 16, 15 years old. And ever since then, I've been having peaceful sleep, crumbless bed, and all that shit, bro.
Yeah. I used to be like fucking disgusting. Like I used to be like pigsty type shit. Where just my entire room was a disaster constantly, clothes and wrappers and like dishes everywhere. And I don't know what happened. Like I turned like 16 or 17 and I was like, what the fuck is this? And now if my room's even 10% dirty, it pisses me off. So I'm glad that shift happened, and it pisses me off. I think I might have mentioned this on the podcast, but it pisses me off when my mom is like, oh, you get your own place. It's going to be such a disaster. You're going to have to call me to go clean it up. It's like, no, it won't. I'm going to clean that shit because I don't fuck with that anymore. I'm not the same as I used to be.
That's sweet, though. Your mom just wants to feel wanted.
Anytime you walk in my room,
factual.
Anytime you walk in my room, that shit's clean. Acknowledge it.
Yeah. Shit, okay. I mean, if your mom wants to come over and do your laundry or whatever, just
absolutely. She was trying to get me to let her put a garden in my backyard. I was like, fuck,
that's cute.
I'm not gonna use the space, so go for it. I don't care.
Yeah, that's cute.
Just your mom's just like, your father won't let me put a garden in our backyard.
That's exactly it. My dad is like I get my pickiness from him. Like he needs his yard to be, I don't know what it is with dads and yards, but they really care about their fucking yard. And if something's 1% off, he's not happy.
Bro, I'm just if I ever have a yard, God forbid, I'm just trying to have like fucking turf. I'm not trying to cut my grass. That shit's weak. I hate cutting grass.
I grew up cutting grass, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I did too, and I hated it.
I like the feeling of cutting grass.
It's a good exercise. But my thing is, I'm also allergic to grass, so I would have to wear pants. I would have to wear pants because it would get on my legs and itch like a motherfucker. So I'd have to wear pants in like 95-degree weather. So that part wasn't fun.
Yeah,
that fucking reeks.
Pretty fucking miserable.
That fucking reeks. But cut grass, I don't know why, but it's just soothing. When I see like my yard is kind of out of line and kind of hectic as fuck, it just makes me a little bit more anxious than usual. I don't know what it is. It's unevenness all around.
It's like getting a new haircut.
It's a haircut for outside.
Yeah, and outside a yard got a haircut. But it's just like, okay, we've reset back.
Maybe my pubes.
What?
That's a better comparison. I ain't gonna lie. That's a better comparison. Not my haircut. I cut down there.
You know what? You know what? Better. God damn it! We have talked about how we wipe our ass on this podcast. Are we manscapers here?
That's yes, exactly. That's a much better comparison.
This is a debate. I keep bringing up Bobby, but this is the thing with him. He's like, I don't know why the fuck you shave your balls. I'm like, how do you not, you animal?
Yeah. Why would you not?
Yeah. He goes, nah, it's a jungle down there. I'm like, are you proud of that? Hopefully he's cool with me saying this. I doubt he will. Because he always acts proud as hell about it when he says it. But yeah, you know.
Yeah, go comment on Bobby's channel, everyone listening. It's a jungle down there.
Yeah, like doesn't he have a girlfriend too? I don't know. I don't know, man. Really?
No. More subjects.
Yes, Rudy has a chance now.
With Bobby?
Right.
That's a plot twist right there. Rudy leaves his girlfriend for Bobby.
Yeah, that'd be the ultimate twist.
Oh my god. All right. What the fuck were we talking about? Oh yeah. So basically there's like you trim the part that's above to be relatively short because you don't want that to get too long. And then anything like top of dick down to like right under the scrot, completely clean shaven.
Yeah, I think we're on similar levels in that regard.
Yeah, bro. Me and Lex, I like to go Amber Rose in this bitch. I like my shit bald, dude. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like the cleanest. Like that's just me. I feel like the cleanest, bro. Like this.
You did not just say I like to go Amber Rose in this shit.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but it just makes me feel good about myself after I get done working out. Like I don't smell as bad.
Yeah, I definitely feel like the hair retains like a little bit more bacteria. I'm not sure about the science on that, but it definitely feels that way.
But man, it looks bigger when it's shorter hair. So
that too. That too.
I mean,
that
you got
too.
the hair like right around like the base that like, you know, shortens the appearance a lot if it gets too thick, because that like just kind of blends into.
It's literally just like a head poking out of a bush. I remember the one thing I will say though is like also if you just never shaved your balls before, if you do it, you have to do it for the rest of your life, because like when you shave, it makes the tip of the hair really pointy. So when it gets long, it starts to dig into shit, and like that's when I realize I have to shave again, because I'm like, my dick is poking into itself constantly. So time to go shave.
Yeah.
And almost
high quality razors, and I don't think my pubes are sharp.
Almost every single time that happens is like in the middle of the night too. I'm like, fuck, I had to get up and go shave my nuts because I can't sleep right now with this poking.
Yeah,
anyway,
exactly.
This podcast has gone far too TMI. Also, the Rusty Mojo Show sponsored by Manscaped.
That would be just a crazy setup transition. I wish we had that deal right now. The only sponsorships that we've had is like, I had one dude that I saw reach out to our email with the business part of it. Like, it's Hoopscast business, but business is misspelled, which I think is fucking hilarious.
Is?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's Hoopscast boysness.
Oh my god.
The I's before the S, which is a mistake I would make all the time before like high school, but that's what it says.
I do that all the fuck. I always spell the I first.
Yeah. Hoopscast boysness.
That's just one of those words I always spell wrong. Barely. I always spell barely like barley.
Dude.
Yeah, if you could put them both on the screen right now, I couldn't tell you which is which. So
yeah, I always put the L before the E. Which doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we've had a few people reach out to that inbox. The only one I really remember is someone had like a NBA related streetwear thing. They just wanted to send us some shirts. Now,
why is our podcast getting more shit than my actual email for a channel with 150K? No one hits me up, not a single person.
Dude, do you not have like your email and your business email under your description box?
I don't know if it's in my description. It might be.
You're an idiot. It's
in my channel like about section.
Yeah, I mean, it would be hard to find if they cared to find it. I know it's on your Twitter.
It's on my Twitter, although they usually wouldn't look at. Honestly, hopefully they don't look at my Twitter before.
Oh yeah, dude. Honestly, if I ever make it big somewhere, I have to delete my Twitter. I have to. It's a must, because I've said wild things, and I'm going to continue to say wild things until a big moment happens.
I would not sacrifice that part of myself to make it big, quote unquote. Like, I want who I am to be the selling point.
See, so there's this
that includes Haley Williams tweets. That's part of who I am.
Yeah. There's this internship that I'm considering applying for. It might actually be too late. It's been a week or two since I saw the listing. I've just been mulling it over. But it's a internship in our industry here, and it would just be like 10 weeks over the summer. So it sounds like a pretty cool little gig. But I don't really want to start putting out like the kind of content that I want to do per se before I apply, just because the nature of that is a little bit edgy and like very critical of like NBA media as a whole, and like that's a huge part of its ethos, and so like I don't want to like get in on NBA media and then be like, why did you post this video? But if they come through my tweets, they'll just see like
I see a lot of people say things to me like, they're like, oh, one day you're going to be working at ESPN. I'm like, I don't want to work at ESPN.
Yeah.
And I have trashed their business model and the disingenuousness of everything that they do. That like, if they background check me at all, they're going to know that I'm completely anti everything that they are. So they wouldn't hit me up even if I wanted them to, which I don't. So that's not going to fucking happen.
I don't really see that happening for any of us for that same reason, honestly. I mean, the whole landscape of sports media right now is very similar to the landscape of just like general news media, not even just sports media, and that it's 24/7. Every day you need a new story to get the eyes on you, even when there's nothing fucking really happening.
Yeah.
Development,
Kevin Durant briefly forgot Russell Westbrook's name, and that's the top story of the day. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah,
that shit is.
Which is like,
That shit is
painful,
dog.
It doesn't do that much harm because it's just sports, but like you take that same model and apply it to like real life shit that matters way more, and it definitely does harm. You get people up in arms about shit that doesn't matter when your job as the news media is to give people stories that are important.
Also, sure, it doesn't matter like in the world, like overall, just because it is just sports, but I do think that stuff hurts the sport itself, because I think for a casual fan, the people that enjoy ESPN and that kind of content from like the Skip Baylesses and Stephen A's of the world, they are not the right fan for the NBA, I think. But then also for the people that don't like it, it's going to turn them off.
Yeah, for sure. You're doing your next deep dive on
Skip Bayless.
Right. I didn't totally get
That's going to do well.
I want to explore the nature of the fact that he can build a career off of hating on another person's career. Like, that's such an odd thing.
Yeah. You need to research the principles behind this one podcast, which I believe is basically canceled now just because they haven't uploaded in what is probably like close to a year. But it's from the same radio station that one of the hosts of The Rights to Ricky Sanchez works on, which is, the guys who invented the term The Process, those guys. And basically it's him and two other people from that radio station kind of doing a meta-analysis of that whole landscape of like the Skip Bayless and Colin Cowherd and Stephen A's of the world, where they take all these hot takes and they grade them. They give their own hot takes every week. They take fan hot takes. It's all about hot takes, but it's from like a very meta perspective where they understand that the purpose of these hot takes isn't to be accurate. It's to drive conversation and to polarize people, to split people up into two groups, people who agree and people who disagree, and force them to fight amongst each other. And that creates a promotional cycle around your idea that you put out there. Kevin Durant saying that, briefly forgetting Russell Westbrook creates space, right, for these hot takes to come in about whether or not Kevin Durant was being disingenuous or not, whether or not Kevin Durant is right to put Russ in his top 5 teammates of all time or wrong. And these sort of hot takes, they exist just to create conversation, to promote the show, to, get the ratings up and make more money. And they understand this from a very informed perspective. And I think that if you're going to do this Skip Bayless deep dive, then you have to at least listen to an episode or two of this podcast just to sort of get that perspective.
Send me the best episode. I'll give it a watch.
I most certainly will. It's excellent. I wish they still uploaded it, but alas,
I think a lot of people are like when I said that I was going to make a video on them, they were like, oh, you're going to expose how bad his takes are. I'm like, the actual takes themselves is not what's interesting about Skip Bayless.
Yeah. The thing that's interesting to Skip Bayless to me, and like just that whole space, is trying to evaluate whether or not the dude spitting it actually believes it. Because on the Art of the Take pod, when they give their own original hot takes, they have a rule amongst themselves where they have to at least 65% believe it, or like 60% believe it. They have to mean what they say, even if it's like a little bit questionable in their own mind. But they can't just outright lie for the take. That doesn't exist on these shows.
That annoys me when I ask for a hot take and it's some stupid bullshit, and a guy will reply, "That's stupid bullshit," and I go, "Well, I don't think it. I'm just saying a hot take." It's like, don't waste my fucking time with something you don't believe.
Right. That's just nonsense.
I think Michael Jordan wasn't even a top 30 player in the 90s. You don't actually think that, but you're gonna expect me to respond to that? Like that's such dog shit.
Yeah.
And like, I don't understand how basically that's entire fucking Skip Bayless's career is like LeBron James not a top 10 player of all time. Like, come on, dude.
That's some stupid shit about Steph Curry the other day too.
He said Bill Walton was better all time than Steph Curry. It's like, dude, you don't think that.
He said Harden was over Curry as well.
You don't.
Too.
Also, I didn't even realize Skip Bayless had like takes about Steph that were negative because for me, LeBron is a thing that sticks out constantly. Mm-hmm. But why would Skip Bayless not fucking adore Steph Curry? Wouldn't that if he actually gave a shit about the demise of LeBron's career or whatever the fuck, would Steph Curry not be someone he wants to suck off constantly? Like that was ludicrous to me.
Well, I agree. I suppose not, because the 2016, right? It's like the 3-1 comeback against Steph Curry.
Yeah, but
if he props up Steph, then therefore he would have to prop up LeBron a little bit and acknowledge.
But I think if Steph never made the blow up that he did, LeBron probably has at least two more championships right now. Because there was no other team in the West that I think was going to get in the way of the Cavs outside of 2018. And hell, maybe the situation is different in 2018. That's a different team. Don't make that your background.
That looks so creepy, dog.
Skip Bayless shirtless is my sleep paralysis demon.
Oh my God.
Rich.
God, you shouldn't. I don't care how in shape you are. If you're 70 years old, your body doesn't look good. I'm sorry. Stop.
Exactly,
don't
bro.
do this.
Way too wrinkly, bro.
Here's another one.
Jesus Christ.
This one's slightly less revealing.
Bro, that lazy eye is killing me.
Bro, just imagine you're like in a locker room, and you just see this guy with the towel that's way too low on his waist.
There. Now we're nice and clean.
Oh, wow. That's sexist, Rudy. You're going to get in the way of the woman.
Fine. I'll get over here.
Oh, now you're going to cover the black man. Wow.
God damn it.
That boy cannot win.
It's rich. Here, I'll just find a different photo entirely. One with Skip in the middle, and that way I cover him by default.
Rudy with sweat on his forehead desperately searches.
Right.
There you go.
I think Shannon Sharp is a good yin to Skip's yang.
Yeah, I mean,
they definitely miss each other well.
They are entertaining. I don't think that's up for debate for the most part. And Shannon, I give an excuse just because he is just very entertaining. So when he says stupid shit, I'm like, whatever, man. I don't really care. You're entertaining, so you get a pass.
Do y'all consider like Shaq and Chuck sort of in that realm of like takesmen? People who like make hot takes for a living?
Oh no, not really. I think they're just jackasses.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Yeah, I wouldn't put them in that category.
I just think they're jackasses. I don't think there's anything takesman like about them, because their job is not to give takes. They just do it sometimes.
Yeah, they're just I won't even put them like in the same category as Shannon. They're just old geezers who like to say things, leave comments about how weak the game is today and all this other shit.
I can't stand watching NBA on TNT or whatever the fuck it's called. I can't stand it.
I mean, I think it's entertaining.
It's entertaining as fuck. I like seeing Shaq and
it is entertaining when they're fucking around. It is horrifying when they actually try to make any point ever. Whether that be political or basketball.
Yeah. I love seeing Candace Parker's an NBA player who sometimes features on there. Dwayne Wade features on there once in a while too.
Well,
and I love seeing
she's not an NBA player that.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah. She's very good, and Dwayne Wade is very good. I'm glad Dwayne Wade is doing analysis because he's good at it.
Yeah, but one of my favorite parts whenever like Candace does show up is that whenever she like literally is doing a better job than Shaq or Chuck or whoever's talking.
By a mile.
Yeah, and correcting him like a motherfucker about just simple basketball.
She understands the modern game. And like that one clip where Shaq's like, why don't you fight over the screen and play man and like not switch? And it's like, Shaq, do you realize how much you would get fucked if you didn't switch? Actually, he'd get fucked regardless. Shaq would get destroyed defensively in the modern NBA. But like seriously, dude, like, it's not, there's a reason that people don't switch, or people do switch. It's because you can't not with how good shooters are today. But his big lumbering ass doesn't understand that. I've burned so many bridges.
I know.
They're not going to let me interview Shaq and Kenny like they let King of the Fourth Quarter do. Like,
that shit is deceased. That shit is deceased. But from what I've seen, though, personally, halftime basketball games are more entertaining when they're on TNT. For me personally, because
what else is there to compare to, really?
Exactly. There's nothing.
That fucking Paul Pierce crew.
Yeah, I hate that. What's his name?
Jalen Rose.
Jalen Rose, Mr. 81. Like, I just can't watch that shit, bro.
Some attractive woman that they hired because they need to meet a quota of female people.
Oh, Paul Pierce don't even work there anymore. Why'd you mention him?
Yeah, I know, but it used to be that. I think Chauncey Billups ain't bad. That's pretty much
Why didn't we talk about the whole Paul Pierce situation, did we?
I think we may have briefly, but I could just be confusing that with like my time editing it. Let's keep it.
I really don't. I just thought it was pretty funny. That's about it. You don't have some take about it.
Yeah, I think we did anyways. But yeah, that's not important.
I like how people got like conspiratorial about it. It's like, what does Paul Pierce know that would lead him to do this? It seems like he's sabotaging himself. Is he trying to get out of his contract? What's going on at ESPN? I was like, he's probably just fucking around, having a good time.
He also one time tweeted a photo of the rocket emoji, so I don't think it's implausible that he live streams thinking he's FaceTiming somebody. Like, that's just some old man shit right there.
He's not even that old to make a mistake like that at all. That man be active on social media.
But he tweeted a photo of an emoji when he meant to tweet out an emoji. Like, that's the most old man shit ever.
Oh, yeah.
It's not as bad as Ray Allen, though. Ray Allen pulls the ultimate old man shit. I don't know if y'all know about what I'm talking about.
I think when you show it, I'll remember.
Oh, yeah. I'm putting it on my background right now. I can't believe y'all aren't...
I probably remember. I'll probably remember it as soon as
I hope it fits on my screen perfectly so you can read it all and that doesn't cut it off.
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting there. When you masturbate,
don't read it out loud.
Think about my tongue or your clit and switching back and forth from my meat to my tongue. He tweeted that? Oh, he tweeted that.
He was sexting and just tweeted his next message.
Also, first of all, I don't think that it's possible to sext in a non-cringe way, but that's bad, right? Like, that's not.
I feel like anytime more than you're sexting and you use the word masturbate, that you're doing a bad job.
I've never sexted, but like anytime, like I've talked to people who have, and they like talk about it, and like, this just seems like nonstop cringe to me.
Yeah, I remember doing that shit in middle school and like finding it cringe then.
It's like, how do you not laugh? How do you not laugh at this shit?
Because you're horny.
Like, dirty talk is already bad when you're actually having sex, let alone talking about it over the phone. Over the phone? Are you kidding me?
I don't think it's bad when you're actually having it, looking back at it and like having conversations.
Yeah, I think when you're separated from the headspace of being horny in the moment. I think we're looking at this from this perspective.
That's that clarity in general.
Post not clarity.
Yeah. It's like, bro, what is wrong with me? I'm a monster. I need to be in jail right now. Shackles.
Did I say I want to lick your clit and put my dick and then go back and forth? What the
fuck? Yeah. Yeah, man. Oh shit. How long did that happen?
This had to be a while ago.
Yeah, this was literally like some 2014 shit. Like,
could you imagine that happening? Like,
I mean, NBA Twitter wasn't really a thing, so you pull up old tweets. Like, James Harden has some wild old tweets. I think that's one that's just like, I dislike retarded people. It's like, you just felt comfortable tweeting that?
Jesus Christ.
I'm not kidding. He tweeted that.
What? I've never.
Look it up. I swear to God, he tweeted.
Oh my God. I wonder if it's still up.
Russell Westbrook Russell Westbrook has a tweet that just says Russell Westbrook from like 2014.
Oh wow, there's a whole fact check article about it, and it says it is true.
Yeah.
It's in reply to someone, so like maybe he's calling that person that word. I don't know.
Like, even if you had that thought, would you not keep that to yourself? Like, why would you?
Yeah, that's awful, man.
That's hilarious, dog.
Jesus Christ, James Harden, man, what a goofball.
What a goofball! What a way to summarize James Harden. What a goofball!
Oh man,
I feel like this is here's a little bit of a hot take, but I feel like this Nets situation that he's in is probably the first situation that he didn't make his superstar teammates appear worse than they are, because he's playing a slightly different role. Because I saw some tweet that was like, James Harden really had y'all thinking that CP3 and Russ were washed. And I was like, damn, he did. He really did.
He really got you. He made you think CP3 was going to be trash.
I did. I fucking thought that Marcus Smart was going to be a better player than CP3 and OKC. I'm pretty
confident Chris Paul would be a good NBA player in his 40s.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, the elite defense might not be there when, he's super slow, but he'll always have that elite feel and control for the game.
He's always going to be he could be one of the best pick and roll guys in the league at 41.
Yeah. Definitely agree.
I would love to see just some NBA superstar never give it up. Like literally play in the league until they're 43 and then play in Europe until they're 48, I
mean, unfortunately, Vince Carter kind of, when he lost the bounce, the last year he had any real bounce was like Memphis. Mm-hmm. Once he lost that, it was like he's just like a 15-minute per game guy now. But he was not bad at 43. Like, you could play him rotation minutes.
Barely. He was a corpse on the court. It was like, bro, it was, watching him was unbearable. Like, I think last season, it was last season.
I desperately wanted him to sign with the Raptors in 2019, the year that they won the championship. I was like, come on, go to the Raptors, man. Do it, please.
Same.
We all want you to win a championship. In Toronto, that'd be fucking dope.
Yeah.
Didn't happen, though.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it would have been amazing if he won a championship with Toronto. That probably would have been one of my top 5 NBA moments for sure. Mm-hmm. I was after last week's pod or earlier this week's pod, whatever the fuck it was, I was showing y'all my jersey collection, which, by the way, y'all suggested I make a video about that. I recorded it last night, and I'm gonna edit it either after this pod or sometime tomorrow. Just depends on when I'm free.
I'm gonna get 1 billion views.
But one of those jerseys is like a fake Supreme jersey with every team Vince Carter played on it. So I love
remember
that one a whole lot. That's probably one of my favorites. But it's crazy how Vince Carter progressed from the human highlight reel to eventually practically being Steve Novak. Just come in, play power forward, make a 3.
He spent half of his career as a star and half of his career as a role player.
Right. I think NBA Storyteller is either he has a video about it or he's just talked about it. I don't really remember about how that's a really notable progression because most guys can't do that.
They fight it.
Right.
Bro. I miss NBA Storyteller so much. I just miss his videos because of the fact that it'll just. I know. I was talking like you said.
I go on a binge. I go on a binge of his videos once every month or so.
I think that's gonna be me tonight, bro.
I'm gonna go watch a bunch. I had something that just reminded me of one of his things the other day. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go fucking rewatch this whole thing. All of his fucking discography, it's an artist.
His albumography.
The greatest hits.
Right. I try to think about sometimes what's the best video to just put in front of someone who's not even an NBA YouTube person, just someone who just regular ass content, Yeah. I think it might be the Derrick Rose video. I really like that one. I feel like it's easy to digest.
Derrick Rose video?
NBA Storyteller's Derrick Rose video where he talks about how he lands wrong and all that shit, and it was just bound to happen. He talks about his gait a bunch.
Yeah.
It's 13 minutes long and it has a very simple premise and conclusion. Doesn't go on a bunch of wild tangents and which is cool. I fuck with that shit, but a lot of people want that just easy to digest through line, and I think that one gives it to you.
not to be like any level of like I got some really good shit.
Bro,
here.
do you have jeans on right now?
No, these are joggers.
Oh, so what is wrong with you?
But if I would say my Kobe video, I think would be up there for those, just because like outside of just basketball, I think that's an entertaining video, and it's more than just basketball,
for sure.
Which I think is like the best kind of thing to put in front of somebody in that regard. Mm-hmm. Like for example, like the Derrick Rose thing, it's more than just basketball. His fucking gait thing.
Right. Take steps off the court a little bit. You know what you did with the Kobe Bryant video, because I finally got around to watching it like 3 weeks to a month ago, something like that. You just plainly did a history of Kobe Bryant's career. Mm. That's like the primary meat of the video is just doing history. That's like really what that is. So I'm curious as to like what other ideas about Kobe Bryant's career, if someone else were to do a history on it, what it would look like, what elements would it focus on more than you did, like what ideas would oppose yours, you know, because that's where like the real work of historians is done, is where they argue with each other, you know. Like I took a class years ago, it honestly kind of changed my life in like terms of like understanding the world and how we know things, because it was like basically a historiography class, which is the history of histories. And chapter 1 of that class is just like, is history true? And like the conclusion that you're basically forced to walk away from is like, not really. It's like the only way that we could really find truth among histories is when it's conclusive across all histories that like there is even a singular point there. Like something that you couldn't really do a good historiography about is like the Holocaust, because like there's only really one acceptable school of thought on the Holocaust, and that's it is bad.
I'm about to quote a fucking Call of Duty game right now.
Oh my God.
But Captain Price, specifically when talking about wars and shit like that, Captain Price has a line where he goes, "History is written by the victor."
Yeah. Like, yeah. That's a
people that lose shit don't get to decide what people say about stuff. Like, and like everything that gets written is going to have some level of the person's personal point of view. And even if they're listing off something that they believe to be an objective truth, that's going to be coming from somebody else's mouth who has an opinion. Like if a historian is taking information from what a historian in ancient Egypt wrote down, he's still only getting the perspective of that guy of the time. So like throughout when that happens over and over and over again throughout history, some shit's going to get muddied.
Right, precisely. And, you know, there's just all different ways to interpret historical events. You know, like you could have like a Marxist reading of history where like you view things in the context of power structures, or you could have, you know, a different type of school of thought. And there's just a lot of ways to understand history.
I think almost all of history could be viewed through the lens of class struggle.
Yeah, I believe that too. You know, I think that sort of separation among peoples is something that's been very prominent in most of the time that we've had to write shit down. I mean, really the only societies that I'm aware of that didn't have some sort of like oppressive class structure were like indigenous people, nomadic people, you know, people who just lived off the land and maybe had like a chief or something like that, but like otherwise it was a perfectly flat curve.
Why don't we stick with that? That sounds lit. I was walking around picking berries and it's like, go home, fuck my native wife, and then chill in a hut. Sounds lit. Why do we have to get up and do a 9 to 5? Fuck that.
Yeah, capitalism, baby.
Let me go shoot a boar with a bow and arrow. That sounds fun.
Yeah, like I saw something recently. Was talking about how Columbus like wrote back to you know, it was either Spain or Portugal that sent him, you know, to go discover the new world or whatever.
What was Spain?
I think it was Spain.
I'm like 95% sure it's Spain.
Yeah, I'm not an excellent historian myself, but it was basically saying that like he wrote to Spain saying like, oh, there are these people here, blah blah blah. They're like some of the most beautiful and amazing people that we've ever fucking encountered. You know, they're very docile, very welcoming, very generous. And then like 2 pages later, it was like they would be great people to dominate and use.
God.
And like I also recently learned that like shortly before the American War, the Revolutionary War, Britain basically told the Americans like, hey, we should not fuck up the native people. They seem good, so like don't go past this point west. We're just gonna be cool with this East Coast little settlement that we have here, and you know, only colonize what we already have. And then America was like, actually no. Spill your tea.
Yeah. That just reminded me, it's not Spain but England, but there is a clip that was featured in Last Week Tonight. Some guy saying England has done more for people of color than any other country in history.
Where'd you hear that from?
I'm not kidding.
I think you confused the word for the word two.
Yeah, yes, that's exactly what John said. He was like, "You mean two, right?" Like,
where'd you hear that from?
It was some clip on Last Week Tonight. I think, Rudy, if you look it up, just look up like England has done more for people of color, and I'm sure you can find it. Yeah. But it's like, you the dumbest motherfucker who's ever lived? Like, even through American history, which has the most biased lens ever, like England did everything wrong to everyone.
Yeah, man. Fucking next you're gonna tell me that like the colonization of India was like for the Indian people.
Yeah, seriously. It's like there's so many jokes that are like, go to an English museum, it's just a bunch of stolen shit.
God damn.
I talked about this on a pod that got scrapped, but like it's kind of eye-opening when you realize that the American education system has so many biases in it. Like, for example, Japan had agreed to a surrender to America before they nuked Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The reason they nuked Hiroshima and Nagasaki was because they wanted a surrender with no contest, meaning that they could kill the emperor. And because they couldn't kill the emperor, they decided to bomb tens of thousands of innocent civilians. And then in my history class, they're like, they did that so they wouldn't have to have foot soldiers and potentially cause more death and end the war faster. So good job.
Right. It was like, this was really the only logical option, was to kill thousands of civilians with these earth-shattering bombs that will change the way we see war forever.
In a way, there is some bit that's like, I'm glad it happened once, just so we realize, holy shit, we have to make sure this never happens again, because we could just obliterate existence in the matter of a few minutes. You know, not that stopped people from piling up more and more nukes, but
yeah. I will say, I believe that we've done maybe not a good job per se, but a generally trending towards the right direction job in terms of denuclearizing around the world. Like, the amount of nukes that we have compared to 30 years ago is significantly less. So that's good, but it's nowhere close to zero. You know, like as far as I see it, like we're holding the whole world hostage with our nuclear.
I honestly
arsenal.
don't know why there isn't more content surrounding nuclear apocalypse. Like, that's a real, like, so much zombie apocalypse shit. Like, bro, nuclear apocalypse could actually happen.
It's most likely possibility.
Like, if you think about the fucking, like, the whole Cold War, that's like how many years of being like, yeah, the whole world could end. Get under your desk, though.
Right, just fucking duck and cover to a nice little 50s theme tune.
get under your picnic blanket. You'll be good.
That will save you from the atoms.
Did you also know there was a nuke dropped in North Carolina from the US military that was just a dud, like on accident?
What
fuck?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you're telling me we have like a real life megaton situation?
This happened in like the 60s or 70s. Like, they're like, whoops. Look it up. Like this is a thing on a. I keep referencing John Oliver because he's the fucking goat. But like he had a section on nuclear warheads that was like, yeah, they just dropped a nuke on accident, and luckily it was a dud.
Jesus Christ, man, that's fucked up.
Wow, it literally is the first thing that popped up. That's crazy.
Did y'all watch HBO's Chernobyl? I believe it came out about a year ago now.
No, I was like, that's probably too depressing.
It's honestly not, and it's not too long of a series either. It's a nice little limited
Mojo,
run.
what does the headline say?
Says the 1961 Goldsboro B-52 crash was an accident that occurred near Goldsboro, North Carolina on January 23rd, 1961. Holy shit, this is really real. Oh my, I didn't even know this. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't teach us shit that could possibly paint our own country in a negative light. Our education system dare not criticize our government.
Well, it's hilarious though.
Meant to foster patriotism.
You know, one of my favorite jokes ever is Bo Burnham goes, "American history having a bias? No way, Joseph."
That's fucking good. Bo Burnham's a genius, man. I feel very fortunate to have been able to see him live. I mean, that was just fucking great. It was at the Alabama Theater in Birmingham, and it was his Make Happy special.
Was that the one right before he recorded the Netflix special?
Yeah.
And he
it was literally the show before he went to New York and filmed the special.
And that was his last time doing stand-up too.
Yep. So
motherfucker.
I caught him right on the tail end of
literally his last special is like, maybe I'm retiring from stand-up. We'll see. And then I'm like, okay, so I might never see you live.
Yeah.
Also, it's kind of a disservice to call it stand-up too. Like it's not even just stand-up.
It's not that comedy isn't generally art, but a lot of comics treat it as a job where they just try to make people laugh, and there's an art to that. But Bo Burnham is a guy who unequivocally makes art with his performance, and you can really see that in his shit.
The best stand-ups are way more than what's the surface level funny.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
When I'm thinking of the best stand-ups, it's not always like, oh, this guy's the funniest. Like that's rarely the case. Like one of my favorite stand-up specials is I think it's just called I'm Brent Morin, which is like, yeah, it's a very good description, way to put your name out there. It's a Netflix special, and it's funny that every time I watch it, I'm like, okay, but you know, it's just funny. And it's not a knock on him, he's still funny as shit, but like comedians like Dave Chappelle or Bill Burr, like they'll make a bigger point about society or something like that. Bo Burnham, or just about human nature. Bo is a lot of human nature type stuff. It's just interesting and deeper than a dick joke.
Right. Have you ever been to an open mic before? Either one of y'all?
No. I wish.
Go to an open mic, and if you want to get fucked up, I mean, as drunk as you have ever been.
I've never been drunk at all, so
as drunk as you'll ever be then. Buy yourself a drink every time someone makes a joke involving their penis. You will die that night if you go.
That sounds literally so fun. I'm writing that on my list of things to do. Fuck.
Maybe we'll do that next Atlanta trip, because we'll all be of age by then, I believe.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
We already are.
Okay, I'm just making sure, man. Isn't
Mojo almost 22 at this point?
I turned 22 in July. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Word. Yeah. So.
I've been 21 I wasn't for sure. 2 months.
I can remember Jacob's birthday very easily because it's very specific. Unfortunately, Mojo, I did not have your birthday memorized. So pardon me, that was rude.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, we'll do something like that. I've been to a number of open mics, and it's nice when someone is an amateur and it still managed to be really funny. And it's especially nice when someone is an amateur and manages to like take over a room the way like an established veteran does, because like you can tell that they just have a natural talent, or that they've been doing it for a really long time and gotten their skill up to a respectable level, but just haven't gotten the recognition that they may deserve.
I have seen Jim Jeffries. I don't know if you know who that is. Yeah. I've seen him do stand-up live 3 times.
That's sick.
Really?
That's the only one I've seen. And I wanted to go to Bill Burr and Dave Chappelle like a year and a half ago. at the time I had no money and they were charging a lot, so I didn't go. Dave Chappelle's like $250 a ticket for like not even great seats. Like I would pay that, but I didn't have the money to pay it. Now I do. So when Dave Chappelle is touring again, I'm gonna see the GOAT live. I don't give a fuck. But I think Bill Burr was like $150 a ticket. It's like I really badly want to go to this. I should have went and saw Patton Oswalt, because Patton Oswalt was performing 20 minutes from me and he was only $50 a ticket. It's like, so it's cheap and it's close. Yeah. I should have gone, but you know.
Patton Oswalt's hilarious.
Patton Oswalt's great. I need to go back and rewatch all of his specials. It's been a while.
Yeah. I would say just, you know, a natural little transition into more of a hot take type thing. If I had to make a Mount Rushmore comedians, it would be George Carlin, Dave Chappelle, Richard Pryor, and Eddie Murphy.
George Carlin is one of those guys that's like, this isn't even really that funny. This is just
George Carlin eclipsed that point in stand-up comedy where it's no longer comedy per se. It's a lot closer to just like public speaking. And Dave Chappelle's at that point now.
Yeah, but like I'll listen to Carlin talk and it's like, it's been 8 minutes. I haven't laughed, but I'm wildly entertained. For me,
yeah, bro, I've never watched this dude.
To me,
George Carlin?
Yeah.
Iconic, like 20th century person.
To me, Dave Chappelle is the greatest of all time, easily. Like it doesn't come close. And I have not seen any Richard Pryor stand up at all, pretty much.
Oh, doing yourself a disservice.
I have only seen the Eddie Murphy special where he is wearing that red leather suit. Yeah, Raw. I've seen that one.
Iconic. I mean, some of those jokes don't really age super well, you know, because it's like the 80s
homophobic ones, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. You know, different context doesn't entirely acceptable.
You know what I hate is that Louis C.K. would be on my Mount Rushmore, but can I put him there?
No. It's wrong.
He is a top 5 funny comedian to me, but he's also a sexual predator. So
yeah,
I guess I can't, but like Dave Chappelle, George Carlin, Bill Burr, definitely. And then after that, I mean, maybe Patrice O'Neal.
Oh, that's a good one.
Patrice O'Neal's really fucking good.
Mojo, do you have a Mount Rushmore, or are you really not like into
what's that one
very much?
Southern guy?
I'm not
Hicks.
too deep into Southern. I mean, I'm not too deep into stand-up comedy. I said Southern.
Have you seen Bill Hicks, Rudy?
Nope.
It sounds familiar. I don't think so, though.
Bill Hicks is also one of those guys. Like, this isn't even funny. This is just a guy screaming on stage. If you look up Bill Hicks, also an underrated comedian to me is I can't remember his name right now.
What do you look like?
Glasses. He was briefly in the Joker movie. Son of a bitch. I'm gonna look it up.
I ain't seen Joker. If I had to
see Joker is good.
Yeah.
You don't want to be the.
We live in a society.
Yeah. I understand.
If I had to make one modification to my list, it might be replacing Eddie Murphy with Andrew Dice Clay, because he's sort of like a comedian's comedian, like the MF Doom of comedy. Because that dude broke barriers. He told like offensive, brute jokes that were like very short. I mean that he's just iconic. The way that he was able to just be fucking hilarious and like barely even say shit. His delivery is one of a kind. I mean, I don't think that there is a comedian on this planet that doesn't respect the Dice Man.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. I've heard his name once or twice, but yeah. I also want to point out 2 other comedians I think are underrated. Nate Bargatze, Bargatze. I don't know how to say his fucking last name. And then also Kyle Kiani is really fucking funny.
Yeah, I don't know anything about him. Might have to look him up.
Yeah,
I would recommend
all these names is new.
My old roommate tried to do stand up for like a year, and I was really proud of him for sticking to it for so long, but eventually he gave up on it.
But he was trash.
I mean, he wasn't the worst, but I mean, hey man, any amateur in that scene.
I wanted to do stand up for a bit, but I was like, I don't got it. I could not. I would die as soon as someone just didn't laugh at my joke and like just sat there and stared.
It's like if you bomb on YouTube, you know, you're just going to see some negative comments, and that's that. But if you bomb in real life, you have to sit there and face the music.
Yeah.
Okay, David Cross is underrated, but the guy that I was talking about is Mark Maron.
Oh, Maron. Yeah, Maron's good. Maron's like an ethical Louis C.K.
Mark Maron's stand-up special, Too Real, is one of my favorite of all time.
Bro, the only stand-up comedies, like stand-up people that I've watched, super basic, generic. Of course, the Kevin Hart and then the Cat Williams of the world. Some that I have not explored. Oh, and Dave Chappelle too, of course.
I was about to say, I'm about to fight you if you haven't watched Dave Chappelle.
Of course. And then I watched some big Hispanic dude. I literally forgot his name.
Gabriel Iglesias.
Fluffy. He goes by Fluffy.
Gabriel
Iglesias.
Yeah.
I mean, Gabriel and Kevin Hart are kind of in the same vein, where they're kind of funny. But like, this is like something that I would have enjoyed a lot more if I was like 14.
That's how old I was.
Yeah, and I loved their shit when I was that age. But as I got older, I'm like, I just enjoy shit that's a little bit deeper than my kid's an asshole. Like that's really what Kevin Hart's shit is.
I'm not flat. I'm not fat. I'm fluffy. Like ha 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 ha. Like, I remember that special.
And him making.
I would watch with my grandma pretty often.
I also love just this one guy. I think his last name is Russell, and I'm like, this guy's really just making fun of Indian people, and because he's Indian, it's cool. But like, it's like I'm not. This is not funny to me.
The only Indian comedian I'm aware of is Aziz Ansari.
Yeah, although Aziz is just like one of those guys. Like, if I yell, this is pretty good. Fucking what's his name? Has the podcast, does that. Joe Rogan. All of Joe Rogan's stand-up is just him being really loud.
I literally never watched this shit either.
Dude, Rogan's just gone downhill since he moved to fucking Texas, man.
I mean, his stand-up's not very good, so it's pretty mediocre.
Yeah. The only Joe Rogan stand-up I remember is when he was on, I forget his first name, but his last name's Afir. He has a show, and the original premise of it was...
Shafir?
Yeah. The original premise of his show was that he would bring comedians on to only tell true stories, like no bits that aren't rooted in truth.
Yeah, I've watched a few of those.
But he stopped saying that. It went away from that. It was like, all right, this is getting too hard. I gotta let people lie because that's funny. Like there was this one comedian on there where I knew at that point that it was absolutely no longer about true stories anymore. But he talked about, being a like a New Jersey Jew and dating a girl for a really long time, and like a long distance situation. And then they finally met up, and she took him to meet her dad. And like right before he met him, she was like, "Oh yeah, also my dad is a Nazi sympathizer." So he's just having dinner with like all these Nazi symbols like surrounding him, and he's just like makes one comment about the Jews, and he's like, "Yep, yeah," and then he had sex with his daughter as a Jew.
I will say Kyle Kiani does have a "This Isn't Happening" thing.
That's what it's called. This Isn't Happening.
Yeah, he has one on there that's pretty good, if I recall. And I do want to point out as well one more underrated comedian. I don't know whose mic is doing that, but I'm assuming it's Mojo's. But
yeah, I think it was Mojo's too, because I heard it as well.
Did you hear?
It's fine. It was just like some weird static artifact.
Little feedback thing.
Oh, okay.
One of the most underrated comedians and a musical comedian is Stephen Lynch.
Yeah. When I showed my stepdad Bo Burnham, he immediately showed me Stephen Lynch. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, without this, there would not be that.
Stephen Lynch's song "Little Tiny Mustache" is the funniest fucking song ever to me. I don't know if Rudy knows what I'm talking about.
I'm looking up all of these fucking people, dude.
Stephen Lynch.
See if they're
Stephen Lynch's song "Little Tiny Mustache" is him slowly realizing that his girlfriend is a Nazi, and at the end of the song, and he goes, "And if my name weren't Stephen Lynchbergstein," which the joke is that that's a very Jewish name.
Oh my fucking god!
This whole podcast is just us talking about underrated comedians.
Yeah, I know.
That was a long segment. Let's get into some basketball stuff. I just realized I didn't put out a question tweet.
No,
that's fine. I guess I'll do it now. The early birds will get their questions in on the show. If you want to,
I mean, we barely did any of the questions from last time, so if you just want to scroll over those.
Oh yeah, I guess
if there were any good ones,
because we gotta double dip anyway. So whenever I do tweet out questions, it'll be for mostly next pod. Let's see. So this tweet that we put out about a week ago has 34 replies. So, pretty reasonable amount, pretty high probability of us reading off your question at Rusty Mojo show on Twitter. Obligatory a key question. Rusty, when you getting the tattoo? Is that any dates?
I have to actually draw the fucking thing. I haven't found time. I mean, I do have the time. I just haven't done it. Like I just told you guys before this podcast, I spent like 7 hours playing video games today. I have the time. I just haven't done it.
Just, you have the time in your life to get the tattoo. it will come in time. So do you really want like a 1-to-1 mapping of just a drawing you make on your body? Or
no, I'm gonna tell the artist, like, make a better version of this because I'm sure you're a better artist than me. Like, I think I'm good enough to get a tattoo that's like 85% would be good enough that I'd be okay with it on my body, but I want an artist that can make it 100%.
Right.
So I feel like this is like mostly what I want. Make this a little cleaner.
Yeah. I'm trying to get a guillotine tattooed on me pretty soon. I don't know if I want to get it on my left arm to add some symmetry, or if I want to get it on my right arm to kind of give it a more like complete sleeve look.
I'm trying to, be put in a guillotine.
Just fucking kill me right now. But yeah, I got comments on my tattoos at Subway today. So
shit, what'd they say?
Fine. Just like, what's that on your arm, man? Oh, it looks cool. I got these. Just same shit everyone says.
I think we talked about your back tattoo on Asher Levi's podcast.
My back tattoo?
Yeah.
I don't have a tattoo on my back.
It was on your chest?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, all right. Wait, I think I was talking about your arm tattoo. I could have swore you had a big ass back tattoo. I don't know.
No.
Atlanta trip was a while ago.
Yeah, that boy Miss Rudy like a mug.
That's all I got. I got mom. I got this Nietzsche inspired half sleeve, and then I got heart and wings. That's it. I want to get more desperately, but the crypto market is down, so I might have to wait.
Oh yeah, that's a good thing. We should get into I've been wanting to ask this since like the start of the podcast, but I didn't want to jump the gun too early. What the fuck is scam?
Dude, Scam Coin is the most insane fucking story. It had just a wild 24 hours. It's bouncing back now, so like
let Mr. Crypto Boy get into his bag, as Mojo would say.
Man, all right. So this dude, not a big social media presence, like couple thousand followers on Twitter, a few thousand followers on TikTok. Nothing super remarkable. I don't even know about the TikTok following. It could be in the hundreds. I really don't know. But he's just your most average Joe of average Joes. And he's like, so, I spent like 30 minutes on YouTube tutorials, and I've been in the lab cooking up a coin just for myself, buy it if you want. It's not really going to do anything. It's called simple, cool, automatic money or scam. And so naturally that shit soars immediately. And
I just love that the crypto market is like, all right, this is a meme, I'll buy this.
Yeah, I mean, just memes have almost as much value as any cryptocurrency that actually provides utility.
What is this reality that we live in? Right,
it's absurd. But it's actually if it ended where I thought it would end, it would be a sad story. But because it's kind of bouncing back now, and he's getting behind it and doing things the right way, it's actually a cool little redemption arc. So within 24 hours, this coin went from like the lowest you can get to the 18th decimal point at launch to being worth like 40% of a penny. Right?
Oh, yeah.
That's a huge, exponential jump. I can't emphasize that enough. Huge. The market cap on it was in the billions immediately. And everyone was concerned that this guy was going to actually scam people because there's a lot of predatory practices in like the decentralized finance world where people will just, launch a coin make $1,000 and just pull the rug and steal people's money, and it won't be worth shit.
I mean,
anymore.
I feel like if you were actually going to scam, you wouldn't call it scam coin.
Exactly. Right. And so, the coin is doing really well. I got in on it like I think 8 or 9 hours into its existence. It was one of the lower, like after the very first peak, it valleyed naturally. And I got in on the bottom of the first valley after the peak. And then I woke up and it was at its second peak. And I was like, oh boy, I am lucky as fuck. Cashed in on that right quick. But then it started tanking a little bit. It was hovering between like 10% of a penny and 20% of a penny for most of its like 16 to 20 hour lifespan, right? It's a brand new fresh coin. It's going to fluctuate a lot. The actual amount of money in it that was like actually put into it across like the entire market, I don't think ever eclipsed like $60,000, right? It's just a bunch of people chipping in a little bit to try to pump up this coin a little bit. But then the guy who made the coin got on a plane, to go from wherever he was, go back to LA and do his job, because he does like freelance, like auxiliary work for like movies and stuff like that, as far as I can tell.
Can I pause for a second on this conversation?
Hold on, we're almost at the climax. Let me get to it. He gets off the plane and it's like, damn, I can't even get an Uber. In the Discord chat surrounding this scam token. But then he goes live on Twitch and it's just like, sell your motherfucking coin. I'm out. I want nothing to do with this. My brother is calling me, telling me that his information and the rest of my family's information is all up on the internet. I want nothing to do with this. Get out now. Take your money. Give me my tokens back. I don't want nothing to do with this. And so it goes from like 10% of a penny to like less than 1% of a penny in a matter of minutes. I got out on it about when it was at 4% of a penny, which is like where I initially invested. So I managed not to really lose too much money. Naturally, I got back in when it like hit the absolute floor, and it's back up to about 4% of a penny now. And the dude didn't even know how to scam people. Like, I sincerely believe him when he was like, people are fucking worried about me pulling the rug on everyone. I don't even know how to do that. I don't know where to begin doing that. It's like, I made this coin for myself, not for any other reason. I just did it to do it because it's funny, And suddenly this guy has a community of like 1,000 investors who are just like all behind him. Like, look, man, you got something on your hands here. People in the decentralized finance world have major trust issues, and you've got a lot of people that trust you. So if you could just, prove to us that you're not going to pull the rug, prove to the rest of the world that you're not going to pull the rug, you're going to have a real meme on your hands, which is going to make a lot of people a lot of money and change our lives, change your life, change your family's life. And sure enough, after he finally got an Uber and went back to home or his hotel or what the fuck ever, he logged back onto Twitch, started streaming again, and then burned 20% of the supply just to prove that, he was for real about the coin after all, and that he did indeed want to be involved. But like, man, I can't even imagine where the value would be at if he didn't go on the live stream and be like, fuck this shit. Sell. Because it bottomed out hard.
Can you imagine that? Like, you're just doing some shit post on the internet and suddenly there's thousands of people like at your throat about shit.
Right. And then you getting calls from like your brother and shit, be like just crying about how their information's online, and they're getting like random phone calls from strangers being fucking weirdos and shit, like 24 hours can make a hell of a difference when you're fucking posting online. The way I saw it was just on a TikTok where I was just laying in bed getting ready to sleep. And then suddenly I was up for like the next 6 hours just watching this coin.
This sounds like what happened with that, not the same, but like the captivatingness of the story with that chick who was catfishing on Lakers Twitter.
Yes. Yeah.
Real quick, Kobe White, a key tweets because Kobe White had like his best game of the season. He does the thing where he tweets like he's fucking NBA Central, and it's like, oh, look at all these stats and a photo of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then he DMs me the tweet, and he just says, retweet if you like black people, bro.
Aki, no.
Well, what you gonna do, Rusty?
This is a tough position.
Right.
Because I don't want to tweet anything positive about Kobe White. But
like black people, but you don't like that black person.
I actually
Mojo, I think your
like,
mic came unplugged.
Oh shit.
I actually quite like Kobe White as a person. I don't like Kobe White as a basketball player.
Right. I mean, you everyone's been tweeting, "Get this bum off my team," like the whole past 24 hours. I saw something that Noah retweeted. I think you did as well, Rusty, after Noah, where it was just like someone being like, "It's bigger than basketball now. Get Kobe White off this team."
No, it was like people in Chicago are working an 8-hour hard shift, coming home, changing clothes, sitting on the sofa just to watch Kobe White get 15 turnovers. And that tweet was after Kobe White had 3 turnovers in 5 minutes.
This is fucking amazing, man. Kobe White. I gotta make Kobe White the background now instead of Aziz Ansari. So yeah, I vote you retweet, Jacob. I think Aki has worked hard enough to get a Jacob retweet in a pro Kobe White situation, especially after the threatening DM.
I'm just gonna DM him, son of a bitch, and then retweet
it. Shout out to Aki, man. Let's see if we can get another question here. Hopefully not from Aki, because we met our quota.
Of course, he put the free throw percentage in there.
Aki asked for a video of my jump shot. That's already on there, but it was 6 days prior, so I get it. Pizza Bagel asked, "Do you eat mac and cheese with a fork or a spoon?" I'm a fork man myself.
I'm a fork man.
Mojo?
I'm an idiot. Yeah, okay. You guys hear me now, right?
I'm a fork man. I'm an idiot. I use an idiot to eat my mac and cheese.
Oh yeah, I like forks. I like it's easier to eat it with a fucking spoon, but I like the difficulty when it comes to forks.
I like to challenge myself.
If it's like really creamy mac and cheese, like a lot of fucking cheese in that bitch, then you do a spoon. Because like you don't want to leave a bunch of cheese on the plate or bowl if it's that cheesy, but like otherwise regular like Kraft out of the box shit, use a fork.
Yeah, something about eating mac and cheese out of a spoon just makes me feel like a child. I don't know why.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I feel like a baby. It's like you might as well feed this to me. The little airplane, open up, whatever. Here comes the train. Open up the tunnel. Pizza Bagels also asks, which cartoon character resembles you the most? I'm gonna do myself dirty here because I hate this so much, but it's fucking true. I really hate it. But I look like this motherfucker if I had red hair. And was just like a shithead dirtbag human being, but like this is me all the way.
What, syndrome?
No,
that's what I'm thinking of when you say dirtbag with red hair.
Yeah, but no, I look like Randall from Recess.
That's accurate as fuck.
Oh my god!
Something about it feels anti-Semitic,
bro.
But I'm just assuming that Randall's Jewish.
He's really doing the greedy like thing with his hands.
Right.
Oh shit,
bro. People keep telling me I look like fucking bling bling boy, and honestly, I don't appreciate it.
Oh my god!
I have no idea who that is.
What the fuck? He's from Johnny Test.
Look up bling boy,
bro. Someone told me I look like Johnny Test with my fucking haircut.
Boy, you look nothing like Johnny Test. I don't think anyone looks like Johnny Test. But the guy that I actually look the most like, there he is, bling boy. Okay, but the guy that I actually look the most like is Sid from Toy Story 1. Especially with the buzz cut. I was told I looked like Sid growing up, like constantly.
Yeah, you see that Punisher black T-shirt.
I definitely see that you growing up. I definitely see that easily. Holy shit!
Because I've seen the photos of you when you're like a scrawny 13-year-old or whatever, and you do indeed resemble him. Muhammad,
Mojo,
what about
how
yourself?
About you?
I literally have no compare. People compare me to basketball players who I look like. Other than that, no cartoon, sadly. Basketball players, though, someone said that I looked like Kevin Knox like 2 or 3 years ago, which is
just because you had wrinkles in your forehead.
Yeah, exactly. And then after that, I got Clint
I don't
Capella.
actually look anything like him.
I know.
Like
and
Clint
then
Capella either.
I know. So that's what people said. But other than that, I don't have any like.
See, I very much tread water in ever being like, hey, black guy, you look like this black guy.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want to be on some they all look alike shit. I only say that about white people because it's hilarious.
I I have to be 1,000,000,000% confident in saying that they look like that for me to even suggest it. Like the one, what's his name? Alvini Linguini. He looks like Anthony Simons.
Right. Especially in the jersey. He posted that on Twitter. He's like, I can't believe y'all made me buy this. And then it's just like in the bathroom mirror. I'm just like, do I really look like Anthony Simons? And it's just like, wow, you're telling me this isn't Anthony Simons? Getting ready to go out there and hoop for the Portland Trailblazers right now.
All right.
Yeah, they're fucking twins. Let's see. Sports Talk Cardi. Well, no, we've already fucking had this conversation before. He asked if we could resurrect one musician/artist, who would it be? Which is slightly different than like the anyone from history shit.
Either Kurt Cobain or Freddie Mercury.
Yeah,
I just want Juice WRLD back, man.
I knew it. Yeah, I think Juice WRLD is to SoundCloud. I think we talked about this before, but like Juice WRLD is to SoundCloud as Tupac is to gangster rap.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the same exact. Like that feels 1-to-1 to me, down to the dying early thing. I think they're both chilling in Cuba or what the fuck ever.
Mojo, what the fuck?
What?
Applied to a keys tweet. Why the fire emoji? That's the worst part of it.
No, that's hilarious. It's always something that me, you, and a Q would get. Everybody else is like, wow, why are you saying this?
Fucking Asher replied to one of the Keys tweets under the questions where he said, what's the age requirement to be a guest on the show? I'm assuming that he's implying he wants to be a guest on the show. Not yet, Aki. Not yet.
It's not happening.
You'll have to like buy the tier on Patreon whenever that comes.
No, it's not happening. I'm sorry, it's not happening.
Banned from the podcast. Akizi.
In fact, he's the only one. Anybody else? You want to come on?
We'll slowly have a ban list. But for now, Aki, it's just you. But what was funny is that Asher replied, old enough not to stand Harden and Kobe White, which I think is funny as hell. God, that's a... Okay, I almost asked like one of these daunting existential questions, but like I'm just gonna fucking.
Do it. That's
all right. Isaac Crea on Twitter asks, "What is your biggest accomplishment in your life?" Like that's how do you define accomplishment? Like, I mean, I feel like most people tend to think career oriented when they say that, but like,
yeah.
I don't have
any personal life accomplishments.
So. Yeah, I mean, shit, dude, you bought a fucking house. What are you talking about?
Well, that's like. I consider that career just because like anything in my head that involves money is career. So I guess
yeah,
I don't know.
I guess.
But I don't know, the house or like if there's just one singular piece of thing that I can point to, it's probably the Goatmentary. Even though I now think that Kobe video is the best video on my channel, the Goatmentary, like a documentary I spent a year on that has 2.5 million views. It's hard to point to anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's respectable. How about you, Mojo? I'm still trying to brainstorm. I'm not as accomplished as y'all.
Dude, same. I'm thinking about shit. I don't know. I don't have jack shit in my mind that I'm like, damn. Other than like something that I think about is me, like accomplishment.
That's just me.
What?
Yeah, that's just you. He sounds good to me.
He's very loud for me right now.
Oh shit! Yeah. But something that I can think of that's like not numbers or anything like that wise or have to do with the money is every other day I think about how I really like got myself to get up at like 5 a.m. every fucking morning just to work out in my garage and then go to school, and after school play basketball, come back home, eat like a whack ass diet and do that over and over again for like 6 months. I think about that like every other day. I'm like, that shit was like literally ludicrous. I can't even get myself to do that today.
I did that for 3 months when I was going to the gym 3 hours a day, 6 days a week, and even on my off day, I'd play basketball at the gym for an hour. So, and then I did a relatively good diet where I lost that weight that fast. But honestly, the fact that I did that and now I'm not doing it anymore makes that not feel like an accomplishment, but like, why aren't you doing that anymore? Because I feel anytime I try to get something even remotely the same, I can't get back into it.
Okay.
Yeah. I think for me, it was probably in, God, I have such a bad sense of time, but I'm pretty sure this was in 2019. Maybe it was 2020, dude. I don't fucking know. No, because 2020 was a pandemic, and 2019 for sure. It was after I got out of my super long-term relationship that I've been in since high school, like 7+ years, and there just wasn't really much left for me in the current city I'm in because I ended up moving back here. But just having the gumption to just pick up all my shit and move to a new place, without very much leading me there beyond just like, hey, the jobs here are good.
Went to Memphis.
It was Nashville. I moved to Nashville. I lived there for 6 months. And I was supposed to room with somebody, but they ended up bailing, and it was basically impossible for me to find a gig that paid good enough on its own for me to be able to find an apartment that I could pay for entirely on my own. And I didn't want to like live with some random stranger and shit. Not to mention I have like a pet chinchilla, so like pet policies and all that other shit made it a little bit harder. So it didn't work out, but I'm ultimately very proud of myself for just like mustering up the courage to do that when it was just a very unknown prospect. It was exciting and I wanted to do it. There wasn't exactly a lot of fear, but in retrospect, it's hard to do that kind of big change, but it just made a lot of sense to me at the time. Man, I'm very happy I did it. It was a huge part of my life now. It's a very growing experience. And, I talk to my family about it and stuff like that. They frequently bring it up. It's like, man, I know if I was in your age and in your situation, I would not have been able to do that. So like, I guess that's a significant accomplishment in my life, is just packing up my shit and moving to a whole new place on my own.
I don't know if anybody heard me, but when you said the chinchilla, I just said you could have just ate it, but
no, I did not hear that. Not one bit.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely scary. I cannot imagine it depends on your level of connection to family or whatever, but just like, I'm going to go to a new place where I don't know anybody except for like, I think in your case, like one guy.
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, I had like some other, like, not really close friends or anything like that, but like, just the people who ran the Fast Break Breakfast podcast had always been very kind to me. So, I hung out with them a couple times. Beyond that, it was pretty much just the guy who wanted to be my roommate at the time. I didn't know anyone up there.
What if you just imagine like,
get up in the mic a little bit more.
Just imagine like you move to like fucking like California or something. And it's just like, oh, there's not a single person here I know next to me. That's cool.
Yeah. Like I wouldn't even know where to begin, like trying to like meet people and stuff. Like I think I would literally turn to like dating apps and be like, just moved here, know nobody. If you like these things, hit me up. We could be friends. Not trying to fuck.
Yeah, I'll be honest though, I can't stand that. So like when I
you're just like you're sitting there swiping, it's like I am trying to fuck. Incompatible.
Yeah. It's a tad annoying. It's like they should make a friend Tinder. I don't see why.
I know Bumble has that feature. I think they have 3 modes on Bumble. Like one is like for professional use, one is for friend use, and one is for
I feel like Tinder
use.
could just like flip a switch that only is other people looking for friends rather than
for sure. It's not something that would be hard to create, but that would probably be my biggest accomplishment. I wish I had something more like what y'all got going on. Honestly, I envy that. I don't see envy as a negative emotion as well. So when I talk about jealousy and envy, don't think about it in like a negative connotation.
Personally is like wholesome hours over here. You should be very proud because knowing, I don't know everything obviously, but from what you've told me about your background, all the things you've experienced, to come out of it a way sometimes obnoxiously optimistic person and like not a bad person out of those experiences. Like a lot of people will experience what you have and become an asshole and a cynic and like not someone I would want to know. And like it's understandable based on your experience to walk away. But like I know that if I went through some of the shit you have, I would be I'm already an asshole. Like it would be even worse significantly.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that a whole
I
lot.
think maybe you undersell how much shit you've gone through because when you just say shit casually, I'm like, Rudy, that's the craziest fucking thing I've ever heard. Why are you saying that like it's nothing?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, I've been through some shit, but there's just plenty of people who've had it worse, which is a toxic mentality to have as like a coping mechanism. But like sitting here in like a healthy and happy place in my life, it's really easy to say like, there's people that's gone through worse, you know. It's not healthy at all to use that thinking in the moment at all to try to cope with it, because that just creates like bad vicious cycles.
It also prevents people from getting help.
Yeah, for sure. Pardon me. But yeah. Cam Talks Ball asks, how many ex-wives do you have, Rusty?
Too many to count.
You know, the one thing that I appreciate about the ex-wife thing that people say about me often is that it at least implies I could get a woman to be interested in marrying me.
That it does. That it does. You totally have that in your future, man. You're not going to be.
I agree.
Completely absorbed in, you know, trying to grind out YouTube forever. Like you said, you know, your next big life goal after you move in is to, you know, find love. And as long as you just prioritize that, it'll happen, you know.
I'm going to be uploading daily at 60 years old.
Oh no.
Hey guys, trying to hit 1,210,000 subscribers, so subscribe to the channel. About half of the people that watch these videos are not subscribed.
By then, you're going to be up to like 80% of the people are not subscribed. You're going to be one
By
of those.
the way, that tactic is so like manipulative, but I don't give a fuck.
It's like get in on the cool kids club.
But like the thing is, half of the people that watching your videos not being subscribed means your channel's not dead. Like if your channel is like 90% people who are subscribed watching, that means that nobody new is being exposed to your channel. So that's a bad thing.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who have like the most popular channels.
Oh, no.
Like it's like 90+% of their viewers are not subscribed. They, you know, they just get put on the homepage constantly.
Why? Why would you send me this?
If you want to read it out loud, you could. Just so you can relay the message to Rudy.
No, there's no message. You just sent a dick pic.
What? What? Stop lying on my name.
You just text, I need to take a massive shit. Well, you know what? Have that turtle head poke out a little bit longer because I want to go a little bit longer.
Okay, it won't take that long, right?
No, you're not. No. If you got to go, we're just going to end the pod because.
No, it'll only take me like 2-3 minutes.
It would be the first time you shit in the middle of the pod.
Yeah. So
okay, apparently this guy takes fast shits.
All right, I'll be back in like 2-3 minutes.
Healthy diet, man. Healthy
yes,
diet.
Exactly, man. I
he eats
so
his
much
vegetables.
water shakes.
Wow.
God damn. I mean, not to rehash old points, but I still can't get over wiping between your legs. I don't. How do you do it? Why?
Sorry, I was distracted.
Yeah, you look utterly disgusted.
In the reply of Mojo's tweet just saying, I don't know if you saw this, under Akey's tweet, because I retweeted it, Mojo just puts at Rusty Buckets likes black people fire emoji. And then Pizza Bagels just replied, I don't trust a motherfucker with this hairy of legs, and just a screenshot like of just my leg.
You know, honestly, one of my favorite little cuts, speaking of your legs, that I did for you, was just the cut to you like putting your fingers between your thigh and calf. That's one of my favorite things I've ever done.
This is going to be reversed. but there is now a Twitter
No,
account
your
called.
shit's only mirrored for you. It's not mirrored for me.
I don't know if you can read this.
Is it Rusty's Backyard Frog?
No.
Oh, yeah, it's a little too high contrast for me. I can't really read it. It'd have to be like way up in the corner.
Rusty's leg.
Oh my god, that's got to be the same guy who made Rusty's.
I am Rusty Buckets' leg.
You got a crazy life, man. just a lot of weird absurdities happening in your day to day.
This is what happens when you have a following, I suppose.
I suppose, man. I mean, shit. I mean, I don't have much of any following. You know, like my biggest platform is like 3,000 fucking Twitter followers who, like, I'm sure most of them only follow me because I follow them back. But like, okay. I mean, I got people sending me weird shit in my DMs a lot of the time. You know, like it's crazy out here being an internet person. Like being a public facing individual is
Sometimes you send me DMs people send to you about me.
right, yeah. I would say I get a healthy amount of DMs. It was like, oh shit, you're Rusty's editor, good edits, man, blah blah blah, which are like lovely comments. I like those, but there are some weird ones out there for sure.
Just nothing infuriates me more than them giving you credit for the deep dive edits, because I'm really proud of those. Like I've done new editing tricks on that I've never tried before. I'm like, damn, that shit looks good. Yeah. Like, wow, Rudy's killing it.
Yeah, if only, man. If only.
Rudy's really going the extra mile on these.
Yeah, no, not quite. But hey, you know, dude, I'm happy that you have managed. I'm going back to Arnold's room and for the background. I'm happy you've found some fulfillment doing those edits. It's nice to have a creative outlet that matters.
Yeah,
once I apply for this internship and inevitably get rejected, I'm gonna go hard on doing the Hustle Points news. I said last pod that this week I was gonna get started doing the TikTok series.
Before that.
Yeah, no. I'm referring to the short form version where I just do like the 7 seconds or less segment at like a daily rate, which is something that wouldn't really be too hard to do. And I really should be a little bit more strict with myself and just get it the fuck done. But I'm going to have to start on that this upcoming week. I just got too absorbed in a bunch of other bullshit this past week. I mean, the hospitalization was like a serious wake-up call, though, because like, I just don't want to fucking have failing kidneys when I'm like in my 30s or 40s or 50s.
Yeah, whatever, you know? Not ideal.
I don't want to be on dialysis. I don't want to get a kidney replacement. You know, I want to respect my body.
Dialysis looked like it sucked in Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's not to mention it's also like a scam. Like I think John Oliver did a whole episode on dialysis.
He did,
which is
another lovely thing from Ronald Reagan.
God, man. But yeah, I'm you talk about accomplishments earlier. I feel relatively accomplished, in terms of like how I've carved a lane for myself in this space.
I don't think it's that important to place that much value on it, because it's like you're just living life, accomplishing, at least from my perspective, like a deep meaning of life point of view that I've always held is that there isn't a meaning, but who cares, just exist in the best way you can. I don't need a legacy. I don't need the second screenshot's the funniest one. That's some Joe Kim Noah shit.
Follow through.
But like I don't view life as like I gotta have this accomplishment and this accomplishment, even though I have like benchmarks of like I want to have this sub count at this point and I want to be doing this type of video in this way. But my mindset is about the growth, not the accomplishment. Even though I have 100K, I don't think a lot about the fact that I have 100K or 150. Just like, that's a part of my existence. This is my accomplishment. This is my accomplishment.
I feel like it's a very American thing. I'm sure it exists in other cultures, but like it feels very American to identify strongly with milestones in your career or what the fuck ever, or just things that could be measured in the outside world rather than just like internal things, like, just being confident in yourself, or like, just being able to establish daily routines that make you happy, even, which is still a little bit more external than, might be preferred. But it, I set out to do like NBA YouTube type shit circa 2018, just because I would look at the landscape of it and be like, this all has like potential, but like I don't really fuck with almost any of it. I feel like I could step in and do as good of a job as a lot of these guys. And I wasn't exactly right about that, but I did enjoy doing my podcast a whole lot while I still did it regularly. And that whole podcast was like basically me doing market research and publishing that for other people to learn from. Because like anytime I'd have on a guest, it would just be about their career as an NBA YouTuber, you know, like what does the past look like? What's the present day look like? What's the future look like? You know, tell me about your first video. Tell me about your most recent one. And it was all, you know, for other people to enjoy and learn from, of course, but it was also for me to try to learn from too. And so now that I've done all that, and I'd like to continue doing this type of stuff, but you know, it's time to kind of start putting the wheels.
Why are you guys texting during Mojo's shit?
He asked what wiping method he should use, and I said he should use yours.
And then he just replied, "How about not wiping at all?" Oh my God,
that would be the really bold move.
Who the fuck is watching this podcast and why?
Man, I want to get a bidet. Probably talked about this before, but
yes,
like
we have. I don't want to go into it again.
It just sounds so nice. When we had it at the Atlanta house, I was like, "Fuck yes, this is great."
I did not use it. I was terrified of it.
Dude, it's amazing. It was a nice one too that had like warm water and shit.
Nah, I was scared.
It was fantastic. That was a cool house. They had like a whole ass garden set up in the back and stuff.
Yeah, that entire neighborhood. I was like, if this house was bigger, I'd straight up buy this fucking house.
Mm-hmm. I like that neighborhood a lot because it didn't seem like it had like a strict HOA or anything like that.
It's just the whole neighborhood was a forest, and like there was roads paved, and it looked like people were just like, all right, this is my plot of land. I'm going to build whatever kind of house I want.
Right.
But they were all
like every house was unique.
They were all relatively similar in scale, but they were all different.
Right. And the only nice neighborhoods around here that I've been able to find are like ones in like historic districts where the houses are just like way too high and like way too old and big to be worth it for like someone like me personally. But like those houses that just have a crazy inflated value compared to a house a block away from there, you know? Or it's like some slightly modern suburban development that has like a pretty samey feel all the way through, but their HOA wouldn't be as strict as like some other modern developments would be, where like there's like 3 or 4 houses in these neighborhoods that are like the size of 3 or 4 houses put together, you know, and they just have like an absurd amount of land and space inside their home, and they just stick out like a sore thumb. It's crazy.
I drove through the neighborhood where Agent Zero and Legend of Winning live. That neighborhood was like, every house in this neighborhood is like at least $500,000. Like,
oh yeah, and in Atlanta too, you know.
Yeah, but I was like, I like the neighborhood where Airbnb is in more, just because it has a good vibe to it.
Right.
Like
Mojo and Alum were just like, "Hey, yo, where the fuck are we? What is this? I can't tell if we're in the hood or not." Yeah. I was like, man, I feel pretty safe here.
Yeah, I think but when we drove outside of it, the area around it was pretty questionable, but the actual neighborhood itself, it was almost like it was like the eye of the storm, maybe. It's like,
maybe.
I felt incredibly safe in that area. It was called like Stone Mountain, I think.
Were we in Stone Mountain?
I think so.
Dang, I didn't even know. Wait, I think I think you're right.
Yeah,
maybe.
It was a neighborhood in Stone Mountain. It's pretty lit. I don't know. Although I don't know if I want to get that Airbnb again, because I want to get something a little bit better that didn't have cockroaches in it.
Yeah, that was the only negative, was the bugs continually popping up, which is like shitty as hell. Like I had a bug problem here in my apartment for a little while, but I solved it by just calling the exterminator. And like after a couple weeks, like very minimal bug exposure after that. You know, I might get one here or there, but you know, it was cool. I had a conversation with the exterminator while he was doing his job. He was a super friendly dude, and I learned a lot about the nature of how these fucking bugs crop up and shit. And I learned it's mostly about moisture. It's not really about like food waste and stuff like that, or just like general dirtiness. That a lot of the time it's just like these bugs need water. And so that's why they stay in the wet areas, like your kitchen and bathroom. Not so much of those areas are dirty per se. It's just the wetness of it. I'm waiting for Mojo to get back so we can get this.
3 minutes, my ass. Ironically.
My ass. I think you mean his ass.
Yeah. I've been saying that phrase, my ass, a lot lately. I don't know why. My boy Nicholas on Twitter is just having a heartbreak over the fact that a cat he discovered outside has an owner.
Oh, I mean, all cats have owners for the most part.
Nick is somebody we should have on this pod. He's a cool ass dude.
Yeah, for sure. We got Cone coming on in a couple weeks. Cone's a cool dude. I don't know.
He's back.
Is, but hey, it's time for the review.
Rudy, make your background the Michael Jordan "I'm back" image. Dead silence.
Yeah, put your mic on, Mojo. Yeah, we'll go with this one. I can't do the exact iconic one because it wouldn't crop correctly. Yeah, now we hear you.
Okay.
Just go below the desk.
It was rough. My competition was kind of tough. You know what I'm saying? Defense was elite.
Oh well.
Oh, anyways, post game interview. Defense was tough. You know what I'm saying? The competition was a lot more rougher and physical than I thought. A lot of contact. You know what I'm saying? At first, I was startled, but we got through it, pushed through.
Put the ball in the basket.
We made it. Yeah, put the ball in the basket. It was splashing all over the place, bro. Crowd went crazy and all that. So it was great.
Did you go between the legs or wipe like a sane human being?
Fuck. Why? Dude,
surprisingly,
Pizza Bagels just tagged me in porn. Like, come on, bro.
Hey, dude,
he did?
check this out.
He's on the block list.
Yeah, Pizza Bagels banned from the podcast.
I bookmarked it. Anyways.
I didn't even know people were like bookmarking porn on Twitter until
I didn't realize. Every time I scroll past nudity on Twitter, I feel like a cop is staring over my shoulder. I'm like, fuck, I didn't mean to.
That post-game interview was great.
Why?
I was holding that in for like at least 30 minutes.
Okay, good for you. You know, both teams played hard, but you know.
Okay. Okay, so what were you guys talking about right before I came on again?
Fuck if I know. This is not even a podcast conversation anymore. It's just me and Rudy talking.
Okay, I have a topic. You guys remember Lil Tay?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw something about that.
Yeah, that shit seems
the youngest flexer.
Now.
So
I mean, that was obviously some sus shit from behind the scenes from the beginning.
Yeah, it really is. So Lil Tay is a little girl who I think she's based in California or some shit like that. I don't know, but some Canadian. Little girl. She is.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I didn't even know that. You probably know the story better than me, then, Rudy.
No, that's. I mean, probably not. I mean, all I saw was like one little thing that was like.
Rudy is a Lil Tay historian.
Right, naturally. All I saw was that like her father took all of the money she made in her fame, you know, a few years ago, and now is like fighting her mother for custody over her, and like there's been like alleged abuse there and stuff like that.
I mean, I could tell
she has like a GoFundMe set up.
I could tell it was some abusive, manipulative shit from behind the scenes from the very beginning, because that's pretty much how it always is with a child star, especially one that's like being belligerent for attention. Like that's obviously some manipulative stuff behind the scenes.
My understanding of Lil Tay's like origin is that like her brother was like the producer and creator behind like the Lil Tay image and accounts and everything else. And it wasn't like her parents; it was her brother.
Damn. So yeah, I heard the same thing about Lil Tay. Like what turns out is that like Lil Tay's brother, way back in the day, like 2019 or whatever, was the one who was behind.
Back in the day, 2 years ago.
Fuck you. So like 2019. Her brother was behind this, telling her what to do, and then seeing the numbers rise up, shoot up. She gets so much sponsorships and all sort of shit. That's how she'd make her money, and it just And come to find out, like Rudy said, that picture kills me all the time. I remember like this one video that's stuck in my head. She was like telling everybody how 2 years ago she used to be broke and how like she had to go put mom like food on her mama's plate. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? 2 years ago you were like
You're
in
a
diapers.
child.
What the fuck? Yeah. What are you talking? You probably didn't know how to talk as fluent.
2 years ago I was in third grade.
I was getting D's on my progress report. I had no money to my name. My allowance got cut off. Yeah, fucking.
My God. But yeah, that story just, I see it, but I just cannot like sympathize with it just because of like how she made her money was basically shitting on other people. You know what I'm saying?
He wasn't
in
actually really doing that though. That's
yeah, I know. That is true. But then like she was asked to do those, and now she's being like, I don't know how to word it, bro, but it just like this whole situation just doesn't sit right with me, bro. And I saw a whole TikTok about it, and this, like Indian dude was talking about how he was being called broke by this little girl, and now she's she's not asking for money, but her people's asking for money. And he's like, nah, fuck you, I'm up and you're down, you're broke. So
God, talking about a child, bruh. Like it's not her fault.
Yeah, it's just
I will say those videos made me want to jump off a bridge anytime I heard her voice. It's like, Jesus Christ, is the worst.
I'm the youngest flexer alive. Yeah, bro, I'm gonna kill myself. I don't know myself.
She's like talking so much shit with money in her hands. Like, I got a fucking rollie. It's like, shut up, you little. Go to class. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, bro, shit's just crazy. But yeah, that's a little Tay situation. I hope everything works out. Her father looks really shitty. I saw that like he's married to some other like Asian women and some other shit like that. And he's like spoiling her and using all this money that he got from Lil Tay to go ahead and go crazy, go on vacations and all this other crazy shit.
I wonder if he's a libertarian.
Just imagine like putting money and fame over your family, dude. How fucking shit of a person you have to be. Unless your family's like bad, but not your child.
It's like there's a subreddit called like Raised by Narcissists or something like that. I could imagine like a sister subreddit, just like parents of narcissists. Just shitting on their kids.
Yeah, my parents should join that subreddit. I don't know if I'm a narcissist, whatever the term is.
No, I don't.
Asshole.
Think so. Yeah. I think narcissism is a I don't want to like demonize like what we could call a mental disorder, I suppose, because there are narcissists who like recognize their own tendencies and try to do better, even if it's in like a performative way. But I couldn't imagine living that way. It's weird to try to empathize with that perspective.
I think narcissism
like, lacking empathy.
I think narcissism is a deep, genuine belief that you are better than everybody else, and because of that, nobody else matters besides for yourself. Which is definitely not how I feel.
Right, it's like I am objectively better than all these people.
Definitely not
don't come
the
off
case. That's good. That'll help me sleep at night.
Well, I'm pretty much all tapped out of questions. So unless y'all got shit you want to go into,
I gotta go record a post game. What?
That's what we were just talking about.
Yeah, I guess I gotta go record a post game recap. That'll be fun.
Child abuse, yeah. I see y'all don't know that TikTok audio. Pardon.
No,
I don't.
You don't know the child abuse, yeah. Trend?
A boost?
Oh, pardon. I can't talk. I was hospitalized yesterday. Give me some break. Give me some slack.
Is that your excuse for everything?
It is now. It is now. Hopefully I can make it to the YMCA tomorrow and manage to go on my date that I have scheduled, but they're only open for like 4 hours on Sundays, so I might not make it.
Oh, fuck, Rudy. Pain. Make it work. If it's important to you, you make it work.
I just want to point out
really
this Noah Terra Nova tweet. The man, He goes, all of this Michael Porter Jr. is the next NBA superstar talk is going to come to a screeching halt when the NBA mandatory vaccines start rolling out.
Yeah, shout out to Mega Porter Jr.
Bro, this entire account is just, or this entire podcast is just us reading funny tweets.
Yeah, we're just literally vibing.
Yeah.
All right.
Nothing wrong with it. I mean,
the last like 25% of this podcast was like not even good for entertainment. It's just us talking.
People fuck with it, man. People fuck with it. We got a loyal fan base here on the Rusty and Mojo show.
I don't know why it's garbage.
And Rudy.
It's because it's real, man. There's nothing performative about it. We just come in here and authentically have a conversation, catch up.
I'm actually a completely different person behind the scenes.
Right. As soon as the recording on the Zoom call stops, your voice drops a whole vocal tone and you start talking about the most sinister of topics.
I'm extraordinarily Hollywood. All right. Well, that's that. Podcast is done. Bye-bye.